Hey everybody, welcome back to Flatbroke Outdoors. If you're new here, my name's Blaine and we're going camping. This is the first camping trip of 2026. It has been a couple of weeks, I guess, maybe. I really don't remember when my last camping video came out. I've been doing quite a few commercials, review type videos, stuff. It's that time of year when uh, you know, small YouTube channels like mine, we get tons and tons of offers this time of year, from generally from September up through the new year. So, the only way we're going to get that stuff is to do the reviews, it saves us from having to buy it. But I turn a lot of it down. I only bring to the channel what I think that would be something good for me to use. And I figure if you're watching my channel, you're a camper also, or somebody who is thinking about getting into camping. I'm bringing you basically pretty much budget stuff. It's uh, nothing super high end because number one, I'm not buying anything super high end just because I'm hard on stuff, y'all. If y'all been watching my channel for very long, you know I'm hard on stuff. But anyway, so those review videos, they'll calm down now. It's going to be real slow. I think I got one or two or three hanging out. Some there's time restraints on, and some I can just fit into whatever I'm doing whenever I'm doing it, and that's the kind I like. Just make them part of your actual camping videos, and they'll flow. And just it's easier to watch like that. Hey everybody, welcome back. We made it to the campground, and I drove around back to where a campsite is, and there's a crew, like a tree trimming crew, in my camp, cutting the trees. One thing about this particular park is you're not supposed to be to your campsite before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which this time of year, that's not really giving you much time to get your camp set up. But one shiny side to that coin is they have vehicles in that camp. So I most likely am not going to have to shovel, which is good because it's supposed to warm up enough tomorrow that it's going to rain. Anyway, it's always snowing somewhere somehow. So if it does rain tomorrow, you can believe that eventually that rain will turn to snow. But we're going to try to get in front of it and get that gear top awning up so we got a place to cook in out of the weather. Now, I do have a hot tent with me. I don't know if we'll put it up or not. It really just depends on the weather because I don't want to get the thing all soaking wet and have to put it away wet. So let me look and see what the weather's going to be for Wednesday morning when I'm leaving. I mean, I can wipe it down and stuff. I just, I got a crap load of snow in my yard at home. I don't want to be out there wading around in knee-deep snow trying to put that tent up so it can dry. And I don't have room in my garage to do it. So it's a thing. So we don't want to do that. But from what I can see, it's not a canvas tent, like nylon or something, but it's a yurt style, kind of I don't know, hard to explain, but you'll see it if I put it up. You'll see it one of these days. For too long, I got a hot tent, but I don't have a stove. I don't have a wood stove. So we're going to if we put it up, we'll run a diesel heater hose down through the top, through the hose hole in the top and heat our tent that way. So I guess I'm just chilling here at this empty parking lot. If y'all are wondering what I'm searching for, is I made a whole thermos of coffee before I left the house, so I'd have some while I was setting up, because I knew it was going to be kind of cool. And now I can't seem to find it. What do you know about that? Let me check over here one more again. Well, y'all, I guess I don't know what in the world I did with it. So I guess I'll just have to make some. Anyway, here we go. All right, kids. I did text my wife and confirm it. I am a dipstick. I left the doggone coffee in the thermos sitting at home on the counter when I walked out. I don't know what I was thinking. Must have had my mind somewhere else. But we can make some more right here, right now. Once I get this coffee going, I'm going to go over and start a fire. I remember we're having some kind of doggone beef sausages for supper. So I would imagine I'll put them on a hot dog stick and cook them over the fire. I did bring some peas, but I don't really feel much like peas. So I think we'll just have them doggone beef sausages over the fire. But we'll get to that after we get this coffee done. All right, y'all. Coffee's all done. Got to pick that up correctly. There's a big cup. So let's take a walk over here and see what we got going on. All right, so the fire is coming along good. After I drink a little bit of this coffee, we'll go ahead and start cooking them sausages. All right, y'all. What they ended up being was Johnsonville beef hot links. I knew they was beef sausages of some kind, but I done told y'all I had to back off that cheese. So these got absolutely no cheese whatsoever. Matter of fact, just dairy across the board. I had to get away from, and I don't eat much dairy. I don't drink a lot of milk, and I don't really eat a lot of cheese. But when I do, oh Lord, it is bad, y'all. So it's just easier for me to stay away from it. Seeing as how there's no love lost between me and dairy. Yo, it's been cold around here in Wisconsin. I would have been out camping a lot sooner, but we just had obligations. You know, during the holidays, we had Christmas at the in-laws, and then we had a birthday party at our house for my father-in-law who turned 80. That was a good time. And then this last Saturday, I guess day before yesterday, I had a birthday party for my nephew, my wife's brother's son. So anyway, so we've just been busy doing other stuff, you know. I'm not going to take away from family events to go camping, but as quick as they're over, I'm going to go camping, y'all. Excuse me. I don't think I talked to old Butch but one time through the holidays. I don't remember what in the world we was talking about. I can't ever remember. But anyway, this is probably going to be my last time camping here for a good long time, y'all. I've had my fill of this campground. Shoot, this campground about to break the bank. It costs quite a bit of money to stay here, y'all. I've stayed in a lot nicer campgrounds in my motorhome. I'm talking about fancy, like RV resorts that were cheaper nightly than this is. Crazy. Woohoo! But it ain't bad being the only one camped here. I'm the only one back here. When I came in, I was the only one in the whole park, minus some dudes that was cutting trees and clogging up my campsite. But other than that, there ain't nobody else here. There's just been people driving through, and there was people parked up in the day use areas. They might have been some of them folks out there ice fishing or something. I don't know. A lot of people like to come out here and walk their dogs and cross country ski on the trails, snowshoe, whatever. The only winter sports I'm into is hunting. I don't care about no snowmobiles. I don't care about no cross country ski. I guess because I've never done it. It might be fun. I just, you know, in wintertime, we was hunting. I have been ice fishing a few times, but I never really bought into it enough to get all the gear and clothes that goes along with it, to stay warm. The times that I was comfortable ice fishing, I was fishing with a buddy of mine who had all the proper stuff. And then the other times I was ice fishing, I was sitting on a doggone bucket, freezing my buttocks off. So that ain't really my bag. But I don't know. I might look into this ice fishing gig because, I'll be around here on and off for the rest of my life, it would seem. So got to get used to it. Might as well try to find something fun to do. Y'all, these things are cooking up nicely. They call themselves hot links, so I wonder if they're going to be spicy at all. But if they're not, I've got some jalapeno mustard, some other kind of hot stuff in their little refrigerators, so we can make them be spicy if we want to. All right, y'all, I'm going to quit rattling on. Hey, y'all, the day is wound down pretty fast. It is starting to get a little cooler out here. I don't know if I'm taking up all the light or not, but anyway, starting to cool. Hey, everybody, good morning. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but it started to rain. It's about, I think it started raining about 20 after 5, so I don't know. It sucks because I didn't cover my firewood, so all the firewood's going to be wet. And I was going to cook on the fire this morning. So I checked the weather report, I don't know, a few minutes ago, and it said this is going to rain for the next few hours in my area. So that's not looking good for the home team as far as cooking on the fire, but it is not a big deal. We have we can cook on the stove. It ain't a big deal. But I just like cooking on the fire, especially when it's cold. It's nice to get up next to that fire. Oh, goodness gracious. Wowza. Well, kids, I reckon I'm going to scratch around here in this clothes bag and dig me out some fresh clothes for the day. And I'll make some coffee for sure. Hey, everybody, I decided to get out of that doggone truck. There's only so much time I can spend in there. It's kind of a closed-in spot, but it was sure nice and toasty in there. But anyway, I'm sure y'all can hear this rain. It is ridiculously loud on this awning. But anyway, I got me some coffee water rolling, and we'll get some breakfast going here before too long. Hey everybody, welcome back. Finally time to get a little breakfast started. While I was waiting on daylight, I took a little walk around the park, and sure enough, I'm the only person in here. So, that's not all bad. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm sure there'll be several people drive through here this morning, or today, like they always do. There's one guy that comes through every evening after work, take his dog for a walk. He must live up on the highway somewhere. So he just walks down through here and takes his dog for a walk. Yep. So we're having a really simple breakfast this morning, just sausage and eggs. And like I said, I would have a fire going, but this rain hadn't stopped yet. I got y'all out there underneath an umbrella hooked to my tripod, just to keep the rain off y'all. It's still, I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but it's coming down pretty good still. I'm glad I set this awning up the way I did, because it does a few things. Keeps the people driving by from being so nosy, they can't see under here from either side. And then it keeps the rain down at ground level where it's not splashing on things and blowing in here. So there's definitely an upside to the way it's set up. I like it. Now this gear top awning is slightly bigger than my Roadhouse awning was, my Slumberjack awning. And it's holding up really well. It's about a year old now, roughly. And it's seen some pretty good storms. Now the one I got, I don't know, it's just been a month or two ago. The camouflage one, I don't know if y'all watched my videos, you probably saw that one. Now that one's a raggedy piece of crap. First storm out of the gate, the eyelets started tearing. It was pretty strong winds, but this one's been through much stronger winds than that. So I don't know. You just gotta kind of get it out there and put it through its paces. Nothing's gonna last forever, but you'd hate to spend whatever these things are, $100 or whatever, on something that's not gonna last. That's crazy. I wouldn't want to do that. It seems like y'all are awful far away from me. Maybe because I don't have my glasses on. I was out there in the rain and I couldn't see zippity doo dah with my glasses on. Let me bring y'all a little closer. How about that? Much better? Yeah, there we go. Got me out in the rain. Yeah, that works. Take them glasses back off. They're all fogged up. Can't see nothing out of them. Oh. Hey, y'all, welcome back. It is still raining outside. Been raining since about 20 after 5 this morning. It's about 9 o'clock now. So I just been kind of held up in here. I mean, I could be out there, but I really don't have anything to do out there other than be in the cold. I mean, it's not super cold compared to the last time I was out here, but it is still a little chilly. And anytime it's raining, it makes it that much colder. So in here, we've got plenty of heat. It's nice and toasty. I can watch a movie, hang out. Not much going on. I might take another walk before, if the rain slacks up a little bit, but we'll see. Start walking in them insulated boots, your feet start sweating pretty quick. But that and that road, I don't know if I showed any of the road on yesterday's video when we first got here, but you know, it's covered in ice. So with that rain on top of it, man, it's so slick. Oh, wow. It was very interesting on my walk this morning. And I may take another walk. I may wear some different boots. Might help me out some, but you know, I might watch one more something on television, and then I'll have to get out of here. I'll go plumb stir crazy sitting in here for so long. But hey, y'all, welcome back. I am just heating up a little bit of butter in this skillet because it is coming on lunch time. I'm sure y'all can't see it, but anyway, that's what we're doing. We'll put these sausages in here I had left over from last night. That's going to be our lunch. They need to be cooked anyway. I don't know if it'll be today's lunch or tomorrow's breakfast or what it's going to be, but they're going to be something. Voila. Sorry about that, y'all. The trash bag is chilling on the bottom of the tripod where y'all are hanging out. So, what I got going on here? It's supposed to start raining again in, well, about 10 minutes. I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. Oh, I went on another walk back around the campground. We do have some more folks camped over on that side. They're actually camped in that spot I told y'all about earlier that looks like you're backing into a little kind of a cove that's raised on three sides, kind of backed in there with some type of Mad Max looking truck camper. It looked pretty cool to me, but I didn't see anybody outside of it, so I did not stop and visit. But I might later if I happen to walk past there and see anybody else. Man, I think my camera's crooked, y'all. What in the world? Man, I can't believe I was doing that. Had me looking all cattywampus and all that stuff. Yeah. This ought to be pretty good, I guess. I might just throw them peas in here when these sausages get done. Have me some sausages and peas for lunch. I'm gonna cook well, if it's not raining, I'm gonna cook a steak over that fire tonight. A steak and onions, and I've got some black-eyed peas, but I don't know that I'll cook those. I don't know. Y'all see this little 1-quart Dutch oven I got? Man, that thing is superb for one person, or maybe even two people. You can feed two people out of it, but that thing is cool as a fan. I used it the other day when I was had some ribs and some meatloafs on my smoker, and I sat this in there full of barbecue sauce to keep it warm, and then I was going out there for just a little while and basting those ribs. Ooh, Lord, it worked out really well. But you know, when you just one person, you don't need a big giant. I mean, I've got several Dutch ovens, but you know, most of the time, if I put food in there to cook, it's way more than I need. And then I'm trying to eat the food before it all spoils, and I ain't doing that no more. At home, when I cook too much food, I just, you know, vacuum seal what I don't want and put it in the freezer and get it out some other time. I've got ribs and pork loin and pulled pork and whatever else in the freezer at home, just because, you know, I ain't dragging all that stuff out here with me. And if I'm on a 2 or 3 day camp, time I get home and I got leftovers from day number 1, I ain't gonna vacuum seal them bad boys. It's done got too old by then for me to do that. But anyway, I still got to hook up my, uh, I got that Blue Eddy DC to DC charger. I think they call it the Blue Eddy Charger 1. And I had that uh, installed in my Jeep before I sold my Jeep, but I took it out before I sold it. And I've not gotten around to putting it in this truck yet, but I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna mount my solar charger in there. I'm gonna run that Charger 1 to the solar charger and go from the solar charger to my 12 volt battery. I got a 100 amp hour, I don't remember the name of the battery now, but anyway, it's one I got from Butch. I think it was last year, maybe. Anyway, it might have been the year before last. Don't quote me on that. I just can't remember. But anyway, I got it from Butch. And I love that thing. So, and you know, if I had that in there all the time and running that Charger 1, you know, off the battery, I think it would keep that battery charged up. I don't usually go really long stints, but I might start. You know, I might have to get to a decent spot to camp. You know, I'm going to start traveling more here in 2026. As a matter of fact, you know, I haven't, you know, I've gone however long I've been doing this for, ever how long anyway, without monetizing my channel. And I wasn't going to, just because, you know, I don't want this. My initial feelings were, if I monetized it, I would start treating it like a job. And I don't want it to be that. I want to be out here enjoying myself. It, you know, not this being a job. I don't think that would be fun at all. But my price for me camping, since I spend a good amount of time in Wisconsin now, it's costing me a fortune. And it's becoming unaffordable for me to just pay out of my pocket for it. And the dollars just ain't making sense. You know, when I was doing, you know, 90% of my camping in the Ozarks where I lived, it wasn't costing me much. You know, I could just grab a couple things out of the refrigerator, and in 15 minutes, I could be up on the mountain, camped out somewhere, and I didn't have to pay for wood. You know, I could cut up my own wood anywhere out there. It was a much different deal. And even if I went up into Missouri or anywhere close like that, it didn't cost much to do it. But here, just to go on a 2-night camping trip cost what I would spend on camping in a month, you know, back in Arkansas. Hey y'all, welcome back. Rain held up long enough to get us a good fire going, so at least we can enjoy that. We got to get some kind of enjoyment out of this trip. We got to leave in the morning, so this is our last day. I've already walked, I don't know how many trips around this whole campground, you know, the whole part that ain't locked down. You know, I didn't go behind the barricades. I don't know if that's just for vehicles or if you're not even supposed to walk up there. So I would like to walk up there because it's, I don't know, it's kind of a long ways for walking from here because it's all uphill, but I'd like to walk back in there and just look at the wildlife. I'm sure the deer are just up there moseying around because you can't hunt within the park here. So I think it'd be interesting. I think you'd be able to see some deer, probably some turkeys up there. Who knows what all? I don't know. And there is a couple of walk-in campsites kind of up on a hill. Y'all can't see it because you got your back to it. But anyway, just up on, you can drive up the hill and then you park and then you walk your stuff into your campsite. There's 2 of them up there and they're not right on top of each other. So, I mean, you could pretty much get off the beaten path as long as you ain't I mean, if you tent camping or whatever, because it wouldn't, I mean, you'd have to walk back to the little parking area to sleep in your truck. But I've got tents. I got several tents. So I may camp up there one time if I do much more camping in this park. I swear a bug just flew in front of my face. Strange enough. But anyhow, it's a cool spot up there. And but I think it's based on road conditions, because like I said, you got to drive up a really steep hill to get up there. So I'm thinking like right after a snow or something, they might would have those two camp spots closed. But I don't know. I haven't been here that long, so I still got a lot to learn. I have never talked to a park official or not even the people that clean the bathrooms. I ain't talked to anybody here, which is usually odd. I normally try to talk to somebody, kind of get the feel of how the place operates and all of that stuff. Usually when I come here, there's nobody around, and I never see anybody. I could probably come camp here for a month and never pay, and nobody would ever say anything. But I just don't know. Oh, it's been a pretty good day, I guess. I've listened to almost an entire audio book, 7 or 8 hours worth, since this morning. When I woke up, I started a new one. I like audiobooks because I can still continue to function. I can do whatever. I can film this and listen to one. I can do it while I'm cooking, while I'm walking around out here, enjoying. I did walk some on that trail that I've told y'all about a couple of times that goes right at the edge of the lake. I walked that trail for a good ways, but it's really pretty slippery and messy. One false move, you're going to come back with a wet butt, because with that rain on top of that snow, it didn't completely melt the snow, but there's plenty of water on it to make it slick as it can be. So there's that. Y'all, it's done started raining on me again, for heaven's sake. Just had got my fire built up good. Went next door, got me a big chunk of green log to sustain. And now here we are. Doggone rain again. I don't think we're going to cook out here, just because, hot oil and rain don't mix. And I'm going to cook a steak, and I will probably cook it in some real butter. So I don't think it's going to go good with the rain. So there you have it. That's what we're having for supper. We're going to cook a steak. And probably not long from now either, too. Time is it? Well, it'll be a couple hours yet. But when I looked at the weather, it's supposed to continue to rain till, I don't know, probably till I go to bed. Because that's the kind of luck I have. But we're enjoying it anyway. I'm glad it's a sight warmer than it has been. It's been below freezing for weeks. Hey, y'all, we got some onions flying all over the place. What we got? Anyway, we got some onion sauteing and some Cajun seasoning from Dan-O's Premium Blends Cajun seasoning. Y'all know Dan-O's. I know you do. Dan-O's knows what's going on in the kitchen or over the fire or anywhere else you happen to be cooking. But y'all, it's raining pretty fair clip right now, so we ain't cooking outside. I'm gonna get these onions tuned down a little bit. We're gonna put a steak in here with them. And we're gonna cook that down, y'all. We're gonna put us a porterhouse in here, thanks to Donnie and Eileen. They done sent your boy a porterhouse, and I'm gonna eat it right here today. Or we'll try to eat the whole thing. It's kind of big. All right, y'all. I got my steak all done and my onions in there. And I'm just going to eat it. I cut it all up right in the skillet. I'm going to eat this bad boy right here out of the skillet. I'm going to give it a taste while y'all are hanging out. Boy, that is good right there. The onions have Dano's Cajun on them, and the steak I used uh, Dano's Chipotle seasoning. It is good, great flavor, y'all. I ain't gonna make y'all hang out hearing me smacking and carrying on. I'm gonna eat this steak. I'm gonna go. Hopefully the rain will ease up some. We can sit by the fire. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might retire and watch a movie. We'll see. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody slept well. I did, I guess. The rain woke me up a few times. Sleet. Sometimes it sounded like sleet. Sometimes it sounded like rain. But whew, let's see if this is coffee yet. Looks hot, but sometimes looks can be deceiving. But all in all, it was pretty comfy night. I stayed warm. Old diesel heater hung in there. Y'all, this is morning of day 3. And see what time it is. 7:30 on day 3. Still running on the same tank of fuel that I put in the diesel heater when I got here. And I've not turned it off. Oh, that's all right, y'all. So it's that diesel heater's got some hours on it. And it's hanging right in there for sure. So I've got no complaints, kids. What? Y'all hear that? Sound like a daggone dump truck or something over there. Might be that the tree trimming folks. They might be back. I hope they're working in a different area if they're back. Because I don't really want all that noise, but I know they got a job to do to keep campers safe, cutting all these widowmaker dead snags out of the trees. Yep, here it comes. Yep, that's exactly what that was. He's got that trailer and the machine, that bucket truck machine. It's inside that trailer. It's a pretty neat operation, really. He's a noisy critter, that's for sure. Anyway, I got my coffee fixed up here. I'm going to throw a little breakfast in that skillet. And then we're going to pack all this stuff up and head for the high lonesome, or home. Hey, everybody, welcome back. The packing up process has begun. Breakfast was a little faster than normal. You know, I cooked 2 eggs and 2 pieces of sausage, and I was standing up eating, actually, and I took one bite from a piece of sausage and dropped it on the ground. I thought, man, you know, not too long ago, I probably would have picked that bad boy up and ate it anyway, but the ground is nasty, wet, sandy. I mean, it's a mess out here, so I had to cast that to the coons. So it didn't take me long to get through the rest of it, and I thought, well, I'll just start packing up. But one thing I don't think I have shown y'all yet, look at these steaks I got, kids. These tent steaks. I bring my, I've used these 2 times now. I bring my drill or my impact driver, and you know, this will put these down just about anywhere. And I'm glad I had them because, you know, this ground was kind of just, you know, it was warm enough when I got here. The ground was just soupy and messy, but you had to get through the ice to get down to the dirt. So anyway, it's a good thing to have. But that's where I'm at right now, kids. I am just sipping this coffee and packing up because our time here is over, and those tree chopping dudes are making a lot of noise. So we're going to wrap this deal up. I got my diesel heater turned off and plenty of time to let it cool down. And I just got a few things left to put in here. I got some steaks I got to pull up. Let me get my gloves on and I'll show y'all. I think I'll show y'all how this deal works. This, in the kit, it comes different sizes of steaks depending on what terrain you're in. You know, you got these big honking ones like this, or you got the smaller ones like that, but they've all got the same head on them, so you can use the same size socket when you're excuse me, deploying them. Let me get y'all turned around over here, get you on a good one. Excuse me. Whoa, get back up, y'all. There's one right there, I think. Yeah, let me see if I can get y'all on here. All right. This was one of the skinnier ones, but it just zipped right down through that ice and whatever and got down to the meaty portion, so that's good. Anyway, that's enough about that. I'm gonna get back to putting this stuff away and I'll get back with y'all later. All right, everybody, that's it. We've got everything that we came with packed up and ready to roll. I did notice one little piece of trash over there I need to pick up before I step out, but you know, hopefully the trips get better and better. So, you know, this is the first trip of 2026 and it rained almost the entire time until first thing this morning. It was still raining. That's what caused me not to get out of bed till it was after 6 before I got up. But anyway, it wasn't horrible. Had decent food, I guess, except for that one chunk of sausage that dropped on the ground. But you know, I got a lot of big plans for 2026 as far as the channel's concerned. 2025 was a good year for me. I didn't get as much camping and videos done as I wanted to, but for personally, it was a good year. You know, we spent the whole first half of the year in Texas. Well, I say the first half, it wasn't quite the first half, but we were in Texas for the entire winter. And then when we came back from Texas, we were just in Arkansas for not very long, just maybe a week, if that. And then we came to Wisconsin. And my wife has been here ever since. She's been back to Arkansas a couple of times, but, you know, I went back and stayed for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks and did some work and around the house, you know, because we still have a house there to keep up with too. You know, grass has got to be cut and all that stuff. So I do get back there, and I've been back there this winter already, but you know, I got obligations here too. So anyway, it ain't spreading me too thin, so there shouldn't be any trouble. But I plan on doing a lot more traveling and camping. You know, I want to get to Iowa some. I want to get to Nebraska some. I want to get to Michigan. I want to get, you know, when it warms up. Not right now. If I went anywhere, I'd either go west or south. I've had enough of camping in the cold, but I don't see any way around it for at least the next 4 months. Anyhow, so anyway, I'm gonna keep on moving, get this garbage up to the recycle place, and I will catch y'all next time in the woods.